Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Irene and my DIY Life Diaries. In today's video I'm going to share with you some very easy and affordable handmade Christmas gifts. So let's get started. I love making Christmas ornaments for gifts because this is something you can be quite sure people would like to get. Since the coming year will be the year of the tiger according to the Chinese calendar, we'll show you how you can very quickly and simply make tiger print Christmas ornaments. I've bought a set of plain glass Christmas tree ornaments. You can also use shutterproof ornaments if you like. They are soft orange and would go great for a tiger theme. To begin with, I'm tracing the stripes on the ornament with a pencil. You can paint right away. The print is quite simple as you'll see, but I'm not an artist at all, so I always prefer making a sketch first. After the whole ornament is marked out, I'm beginning to paint it. I've got here glass paint in black. I'm painting the stripe according to the markings, and immediately while the paint is still wet, I'm sprinkling it with black glitter. I'm shaking off the excess, but if you have some kind of a bowl for this, and the remaining glitter can simply be blown off. After that, I'm painting the next stripe, sprinkling it with glitter, shaking it off, and so on. Any glass paint will do here. You can also use nail polish or acrylic varnish or Mod Podge. It will be both a backing and a glitter glue, so you'll need something to which the glitter would stick well, and best if it is black, otherwise the stripes would turn out to be grayish but not black. If you've got some water-based glue or acrylic varnish, just add some black acrylic paint into it. And you can also draw stripes with a black permanent marker in advance and then apply clear glue. Finally, I'm painting the ornament holder in black to match the design better. And I'm hanging the ornaments to dry. If there's nowhere to hang, you can paint the ornament in halves. First one side and after drying the second one. I've also decided to make ornaments with a leopard print to match the tiger stripes. On the second ornament, I've also drawn a sketch, and first I'm painting the middle of the spots. This time I'm sprinkling them with bronze glitter. By the way, you can use nail glitter for this. Glitter is very economically consumed here, and even such a small jar would be enough for you to make several sets of ornaments. I'm waiting for the brown spots to dry a little and then outlining them in black, making kind of open spots as leopards have. And I'm sprinkling them with black glitter this time. The order is not really important here. You can also draw black borders first and then fill the middle. But best is to dry the first layer a little so that later the glitter of the second color doesn't stick to the areas already painted and covered with glitter. By the way, you can dry it with a head dryer using not too hot air. At the same time, it will blow away the excess glitter. I'm also painting the ornament holder black. All you have to do is to put the ornaments in a beautiful box and a very nice set of ornaments is ready. As you can see, these ornaments are very quick and easy to make. Well, it will only take some time to dry, but such a set looks very nice and these ornaments look beautiful on a Christmas tree. By the way, you can make a two-colored set if you also buy silver ornaments, because there are also white tigers and snow leopards. The next idea for a Christmas gift is a decorative candle. This time I've decided to experiment with candle gel wax. This looks like a kind of transparent jelly. It consists of mineral oil and some polymer resin. It burns longer and brighter than ordinary wax, it doesn't smoke, and of course it looks very unusual and interesting. Only container candles can be made out of it, and here I've got jars with a lid from Dollar Tree. Since the candle fillers I'm going to be using are flammable, I will make a double glass candle. I'm going to put a tall, narrow glass inside the jar. It is also from Dollar Tree, and this one will be the actual candle. Of course, you will also need a wick, preferably a thin one, and a wick holder. First, I'm preparing materials for decorating. I've cut various conifers twigs in the garden and I'm dividing them into smaller twigs and I'm going to dry them. Here I'm using a dryer for vegetables and fruits to make it faster. I've also collected all sorts of different things to decorate the candles. Little pine cones, cinnamon sticks, wood circles, pieces of bark, plastic berries, orange slices, which I have also dried for decoration in the fruit dryer, and I will also use white sand for aquariums to simulate snow. So I'm hot gluing the wick into the glass and wrapping the tip over a stick to keep it stretched out. I'm pouring some sand to the bottom of the jar and putting the glass inside. I'm adding some more sand to hide the bottom of the glass. Then I'm adding other embellishments, a few berries, little pine cones, yew twigs. Be careful here, coniferous twigs become very fragile after drying and the needles break easily. Then you should put the gel wax to melt in a water bath. I have here a wax melter for convenience. You need to heat the gel wax to about 100 degrees Celsius. After the gel wax has melted, I'm removing the bubbles from the surface with a spoon. By the way, an important thing is all the embellishment that you use must be completely dry. My pine tree twigs were not fully dry and the gel wax around the twig has become cloudy. Fortunately, not all is lost. I can remove the gel wax from the jar. It comes off easily, melt the good pieces again, but the cloudy part will have to be thrown away. So I'm filling the jar and the glass with gel wax. You want to pour so much gel wax that it covers the inner glass completely. Then it becomes practically invisible. For the second candle, I'm collecting the same set: a jar, a glass and a wick. I'm also pouring white sand on the bottom. And then I'm putting inside a slice of dried orange and some spices. My favorites are anise, cardamom and cinnamon pieces. At the end, I'm carefully pushing the yew twigs inside. And I'm filling the candle with hot gel wax. Bubbles rise here. This is due to the air remaining in the embellishments. I'm collecting them with a spoon. There's not much space for the decoration between the jar and the glass, and on one candle I've tried to move the glass to one side of the jar. The main thing is not to have it too close, otherwise the gel wouldn't flow there. So I've been able to put bigger pine cones there. By the way, I want to warn you, do not microwave the gel wax. This seems like a pretty obvious solution given that in a water bath there's a risk of water getting into the gel, and as I have shown, the gel becomes cloudy if moisture gets into it. But in the process of experimenting, I've almost burned out my microwave oven. The gel heats up very slowly. Let me remind you that it has a working temperature of about 100 degrees Celsius. And in one moment my oven got overheated and just turned off. The thermal protection worked. So don't repeat my mistakes and do not microwave it. And one more thing, when working with gel wax, you shouldn't overheat it either. It would burn, turn yellow and become cloudy. As for the quantity, 500 grams of gel wax was enough for me to make 4 candles. And here is the result. I especially like how the candles with oranges turned out. The slices are translucent in the light and all looks very nice in the gel. You can experiment with a variety of nuts, sticks, snowflakes or even sparkles and small toys. Or you can even try to make a kind of a snow globe, which you turn over and it snows. Such candles are less common than wax candles and look very nice and unusual. And finally, a delicious gift, a handmade chocolate bark. To make this, first you need to prepare the filling. I've collected several types of nuts and dried fruits. I have here dried cranberries, coconut chips, dried papaya and dried mango. I'm chopping pistachios with a knife. I've tried to peel all the skins here to get green pistachios. I'm not chopping them into too small pieces here, and I'm selecting some of the most beautiful and greenest pistachios for decoration. Freeze-dried raspberries and strawberries are often added to handmade chocolate barks. I've come across it and I've bought it to try. It turned out to be really tasty with chocolate. I'm mashing the raspberries into small pieces. I'm cutting the mango into thin strips. It looks a bit like an orange peel. Here, the thinner the better, so that the strips break easily when you break a chocolate bark into slices. I'm also cutting papaya into small pieces. And finally, I'm dividing hazelnuts into halves. It looks so nice in chocolate. As for the walnuts and the cashews, I'm leaving them as they are. Now for chocolate. You can use chocolate bars, but a much more reliable option is to use chocolate in drops or chips. I'm pouring the right amount of chocolate into a bowl and microwaving it 3 times for 30 seconds at middle power, stirring each time. It's necessary to heat until the chocolate almost melts, but there are still non-melted pieces in it. After that, I'm stirring the chocolate until the pieces melt and pouring it into the mold. I'm distributing it with a spatula, tapping the mold well on the table so that the chocolate spreads well and your bubbles come out, and then I'm going to add the fillings, for example pistachios and freeze-dried raspberries. Not a very Christmassy look, but a stunningly beautiful combination on a chocolate, and by the way, it is very tasty. I'm sending the chocolate bark to the fridge until it hardens, then I'm taking it out of the mold, and that's how it turned out. You can also add the filling before pouring the chocolate. Then you'll need to tap the mold properly so that the chocolate fills all the gaps. If you didn't do this, dents would appear on the front side. Some people do them on purpose, but I don't really like them, so I'm tapping a lot. The biggest problem when making chocolate is your family, who strive to steal all the filling even at the cooking stage, not to mention the chocolate itself. Here my cameraman couldn't resist it. You can experiment with different fillings that you wouldn't find in ready-made chocolate. For example, it turned out to be very tasty to add dried cranberries. Its slight sourness goes well with chocolate and looks very Christmassy, especially with mango chips. I would also like to tell you about preparing chocolates, since there are some subtleties here. Firstly, in no case should the chocolate be overheated, which is why I'm melting it in several steps. When overheated, the sugar in chocolate turns into caramel and the chocolate gets all lumpy. You can no longer work with it. But that is not all. Professional confectioners temper chocolate. Tempering is an operation by which a certain crystal structure of cocoa butter is achieved. If it is not formed, the chocolate is less beautiful in appearance, it melts quickly, gets hands dirty, shines less, and so on. The operation is quite simple, but it requires a thermometer. I will not tell you in detail what and how to do. I do not have a cooking channel after all. I will leave a link to a good video about tempering. Everything is described in detail there, but my version is for those who do not have a thermometer. In fact, chocolate that is being sold in drops is already tempered, and our task is just not to destroy the desired structure of the cocoa butter by excessive heating. That is why I'm taking out the chocolate before all the pieces have melted. Then the structure is preserved and the finished chocolate turns out to be no worse than the ready-made one. All you have to do is to pack all your beautiful chocolate barks in transparent bags so that the filling is clearly visible, and wonderful, incredibly tasty small Christmas gifts are ready. Such chocolate barks can be added to a main gift. You can also put together a gift set with a tea or coffee and a mug, but even on their own they look very nice. A great option if you need a lot of inexpensive gifts for neighbors or your colleagues. Making them is very quick, so it's a great last-minute gift. The only thing, if you need a lot of chocolates, buy several molds so as not to wait until the previous chocolate bark hardens. This would speed up the cooking process significantly. And you can experiment with decoration, add some puffed rice, cookies, pastry sprinkles, or even make multicolored chocolate. So I hope you liked today's gift ideas. By the way, let me know what gifts you are going to make this year. Also, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. If you like my ideas, I post DIY videos every Wednesday and Sundays. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!